I'm excited to welcome on a top prospect in 2022, Tamin Lipsey. What's going on there, my guy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Pretty good, man. Well, there's a lot of stuff we're going to get into today, but for starters, man, we know you're a top prospect. We know you had the ACL injury. We know you're back on the court now, though, man. Just take us through this. What if they just get back on the court?
It was a long rehab, long recovery. It feels great to be back on the court. I definitely feel like there's some people out there that didn't know me before my injury and still don't know me, so I feel like I have a lot to prove. People want to see if I'm still as good as I was, or if I'm better, or if I'm not as good. But I feel like I'm better than I was before. I'm stronger. Rehab was great. It was a long period of time for me to build back my strength and just come back mentally ready. And just being back on the court, just playing the game I love to play, it's just an amazing feeling to be back.
No doubt, man. So let's go to the original injury. How would it go down? Take us to that moment when you knew it, when it happened.
We were in a summer league game with my high school team. We were playing out in Council Bluffs, Omaha area, and it was our second game of the day. Um, so I played almost the whole first game and this whole second game. So I was in. I was probably a little fatigued. I jumped up for a rebound. Just came down right, left, and it just my left knee just sort of gave out on me. At first, I knew it. I knew it wasn't good because I had never had an injury that felt like that before. So I knew that it wasn't good. But at the time, I didn't know it was ACL. I was devastated that I wasn't going to be able to play for a long time. Missed my high school season, missed some of AAU. But at that time, I just had to think of the positives. Just had to sort of get my mindset right to be able to recover quick and recover stronger.
And ACL is kind of the word that we hear for all athletes. Is kind of like the most feared name. That Achilles right up there, the same. When you
hmm
hear that it is ACL, what's going through your mind?
Um, my family has actually had history with ACLs. I had two sisters that tore both of theirs, so I had some people in my family that I was able to lean on. Um, so that was really nice being able to ask them questions about it, their recovery, and just surgery and all those types of things. So obviously I was devastated, but I had people by my side the whole time. I could ask questions. They were just there for me, pushing me during rehab and everything.
I think the good thing about ACL is that we have seen a few different things change. I think it's got a lot better surgery wise. We've seen guys come back to and play at a higher level than ever, and people are coming back a lot quicker than they used to. For you now, as you went through the
hmm
process, when did you feel that you were 100%, at least we're starting to get there?
My recovery was they wanted me to go 8 to 9 months. Um, they've researched a lot of things that later recovery is you're going to be stronger, you're going to be back better. So 8 to 9 months was my area. So I just worked early rehab was a lot of the boring things, I'd say, sort of building back strength, getting like my balance back. But at that point, those things were really hard because it was like learning how to walk again, just do stuff like that. But later in the rehab, sort of at that 6 7 month mark, I was able to start doing basketball drills and things. I just couldn't have any contact, so I sort of had like a 2 month period where I was able to do basketball, just no contact. So that really helped me when I got to that 9 10 month where I was able to get back on the court and just be back with my teammates and playing again.
So, what month would you say that was?
Let's see, I tore it late June, had surgery July. I was back, I think it was April, May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of guys that are dealing with injuries kind of look at COVID almost as positive to a degree. I mean, you would have probably wanted been out there, but it kind of forced you to slow it down, keep it recovering for a little bit longer than you might maybe even need to. Would you say that kind of was also a benefit for you?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you want to get out there and play in front of coaches and everything, but you know, for guys with injuries like me, it just gave us an extra couple months to be able to get back and be ready to play in front of coaches again, and sort of just give us that extra time to get our bodies right and the mental side of it just get stronger.
So you have got back on the court now. Take us to that first moment, getting back on there. What's going through your mind? What did it feel like?
First moments, it was a little bit nerve wracking, just coming back from an injury, or your first game is going to be like, how am I going to play? How do I do this? You don't know how it's going to turn out, but you sort of just gotta get the feel back into it, and it's just going to come back to you real quick if you just focus on it. So first game, it was just great to be out there. I was just having fun, just focusing on my movements and sort of getting better and getting back to where I was before.
And a common thing for I think all guys that go through any form of an injury is kind of being a little bit hesitant, kind of being a little more precautious in terms of jumping, moving with your knee and all that. Would you say you're still kind of working through that, kind of leaning off being a little more hesitant on your knee?
Yeah, definitely. When I first came back, first couple tournaments that I played in, I was definitely focusing on not giving weight to one side more than the other. So that's how injuries happen, when you go one way more than the other and don't balance out. So you really got to just focus on really just mentally knowing that your knee's strong enough, because you went through all the rehab and they told you that your back's strong. So you really just got to get it down mentally. And then by now, jumping and everything, I'm really back to where I was before, if not jumping higher and jumping better. So it feels really good.
So you'd say you're 100% now?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, the other big aspect that we talked about now is the offer standpoint. Obviously, you probably don't have as many offers as you probably planned on having due to the injury, but you just have offers on the table for you right now. Iowa State, Nebraska, Minnesota, all these schools are in the mix for you right now. Who's showing the most interest?
Definitely those three are at the top, and then schools that haven't offered that show good interest would be probably Arizona and Illinois. I talked to them quite a bit, and also Virginia Tech. They just text me every couple times a week, just to see how I'm doing, just build a relationship really. And they probably just want to watch me play, get a better relationship, and we'll take it from there.
Now, for those three schools, I know they've offered you as well, Iowa State, Nebraska, Minnesota, all of them. For their coaching personality, I mean, what is their thoughts on the injury? Kind of what was their stance when they heard you had the injury now as you worked your way through it?
I had Nebraska and Iowa State before, or sort of during that injury phase. So, they were just telling me that they know I'm going to be back. They know I'm going to be better. So they're really just helping me out. They didn't stop talking to me at all or anything like that. And then Minnesota was my first offer back after my injury. So, that felt really good, just to get another school looking at me. And they know that my injury won't affect me. So, it feels good.
Now, for those programs like Iowa State, Nebraska, that's not only been with you from pretty much the beginning, but have been with you through an injury, that kind of hold any kind of substance or impact when it does come time for you to really start looking into your school and colleges?
Yeah, I feel like that definitely would be up there, because, it just shows them that they believe in me as a player and as a person. They believe that I was going to be back and be stronger. So that shows that we have a great relationship. So I really look for a school that has a great relationship with me and the coaches and the other players that are going to be there. So that's a really big factor. Yeah.
Now, for those schools, I mean, other schools that can start coming into the mix, start offering you over the next couple of years that they want to land you. How do they do that? Because of the fact that you do have relationships built with these other programs.
Yeah, I would just say I probably just just building a relationship is really big. Having the same goals for me as them. I don't want to go into school and not play till like my senior year or anything. I'll accept my role on the team, but I want to be able to make it to the next level, and I want to pick a school that wants to help me get to the next level and push me hard on and off the court. Education is also a really big thing. So
that's awesome, man. Iowa State, let's talk about them. You'd be staying home. What would that be like? What kind of attraction is possibly staying home, staying close to family? What does that kind of weigh to you?
That that's any kid, if they grow up in a university, they grow up watching that team.
Hmm.
It would be great just to stay home and play in your hometown, but also you never know if that school is really the right fit for you. So that's why you got to look at all the other schools that have interest, because at the end of the day, there could be a school that's all the way across the country that might fit you better. So
So you'd say then staying close to home or far away from home doesn't really have any impact on you?
not not really. At this moment, I'm really open to anywhere in the country.
That's awesome, man. As you mentioned, Nebraska, another big time program. What do you like about them?
Coach Hoiberg, I know he's a great coach.
Mhm.
I knew him when he was in Ames. He used to coach Iowa State, and then he was in the NBA. Now he's at Nebraska. So he actually went to the high school that I go to. So I know him very well, and we have a great relationship already. And I know he's a great guy. He's a great coach too. So I know he's gonna push me. He's gonna help me get to that next level.
He's a guy that in your same shoes if you want to look at it. Grows up in Iowa, goes to your high school, goes to college, plays in the pros. He's now coached them in pros. He's done all this stuff. How appealing is that to you to kind of have a
hmm
guy that's almost walked the same path that you want to walk?
That's really great. Just
Mm.
he could teach me so many things. He could teach all the players that he has so many things because he's actually experienced them. And I feel like that's going to help him a lot to get recruits and all that stuff.
No doubt. I mean, going back to Iowa State, now that's your first offer. What was that day like? Just getting that offer, learning you had it before you even came into high school. Take us to that moment that day.
Um, so that was eighth grade summer before I was a freshman, like you said. So I wasn't really expecting it. We were playing at the team camp that they were hosting. So the coaches were watching the games. They were in the gym, and I was playing well that tournament. So my coach told me that Coach Prom wanted to talk to me in his office. So we walked over and went up to his office. It was me and my dad in there, and we just had a really good conversation. And then he offered, and I was really shocked at it. But when we left, I had to ask my dad, like, did that just happen? Like, was that real? So that was just a big moment. Getting your first offer is just super big. So that's all. I'm always gonna remember that.
So you grew up, you're playing in a state like Iowa. It's not necessarily a state that we know recognize as being a top state for basketball in the country, but the thing about Iowa is that you guys have guys that are superstars that come out of there. It's really just either boom or bust kind of guys. I mean, you got guys like Harrison Barnes, you have Marcus Page, a lot of just big time great players. Following suit, being one of those high level recruits. What's that like?
It's cool because you know a lot of people don't really look at Iowa very much.
Hmm.
We're one of the smaller states, I guess, but we're a little bit underrated. I think a lot of people say that about their states, but I think we definitely are. We don't get as much looks as bigger states like California and all them states, but we put our work in. It would feel great to just be the next player out of Iowa to just make it to the next level, and then hopefully the next level after that. It would be amazing.
I believe because of the injury and all that stuff, I think they have you right outside the top 100 in most rankings. But we know you're probably working your way back. You were at the top 50, top 30 range. There's another big time kid coming up now in 2023, Omaha Balua from out there. How special is
hmm
he?
Um, I've known him for a little while actually. Um, I played with his cousin in AAU a couple years ago. So um, he's a great player. He's got great size, great athleticism, and I know he's gonna be a beast. He's gonna be the next one out of Iowa too. Uh, you know, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good in that class. He's a top player in that class. So I'm excited to see how much he grows and where he goes.
That's awesome. So you obviously didn't have a sophomore season. Let's talk about your freshman year. You're at Ames. Your coach has been there for a while. He's coached Harrison Barnes. He's now coached you. You kind of talk about the similarity between you guys in terms of having that mentality, that ability to be that next level college pro kind of player. What's it like kind of hearing your coach have that and just kind of talk about you in that way?
Um, so he's coached a lot of great players. Obviously, Harrison Barnes. So he knows what it takes to get to that next level and be successful. So he can sort of give me those tips that he gave to Harrison Barnes and all those other players. And um, he's been around for a long time coaching. He's a great coach. He's a great guy. He's my favorite coach. So um, he really pushes me. He pushed me really hard. He expects big things out of me, and when he puts me in the spot, I'm going to be ready for it.
So that freshman year, I mean, you come in as a freshman, average 17 a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, couple steals a game, bring your team to state championship too. What was that freshman year like, and how were you able to go in there as a freshman and take over being that young?
um, it was uh, it was expected to just that I was going to be able to go in there. It wasn't expected that I was going to be able to go in there and score, be like a main scorer on the team. Obviously, I knew I would play a big role, but just being a freshman, you never know. You're new to that high school level. You don't know how it's going to work out. But just looking back at that year, I think it was a great year. Just as me being a freshman playing up against those juniors and seniors, being able to average 17 for and help my team get as far as we could, and it was just a great year overall.
So at least there's no sophomore season for you. You get back to junior season. Hopefully, we have a season though. But in this upcoming season, what do you think you're capable of doing? What averages? What do you think you can go out there and do for your junior season?
You know, um, I feel like I really want to lead this team to the state title. That's one of my biggest goals. I think we have a chance of that if we work really hard and just put in that work. You know, I feel like I'm gonna be scoring a lot on our team. I'll be taking a lot of shots, so hopefully I'll be averaging around 25. But you never know if I need to average 20 and 10, or 15 and 15. Whatever works for your team. Like, it's not all about scoring. It's not all about all that stuff, but it's making plays all over the court, making plays on defense. Some people don't see that stuff, but coaches will see it, and it really helps your team succeed.
Absolutely, man. And so you now look at you as being a top player. I know you probably already had some big time programs, national schedule schools reach out to you. Is this something either for your junior or senior season that you've looked into possibly considering?
Um, not really.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's schools out there that have reached out and everything, but I'm really just focused on this next season here.
That's awesome, man. So you've also been a person that's been elite at track and field, junior Olympics. You've won in 3 different events. You look forward now. Is that something you want to resume once the season starts back up again?
I've always been a three-sport athlete. I played basketball, football, and I ran track. So I definitely think it helps you with each sport. Like track, it helps me with my agility in football and speed in basketball. So I'm gonna keep working on track and all that stuff. But I think this will be my last year of football probably, and then I really think I like to focus on basketball because that's where my options are for the next level are right now. So I'll be running track in the spring, and yeah.
How do you balance that? I mean, we know just being a basketball player or just focusing on any sport takes a lot of time, a lot of work. How do you balance 3 sports?
Yeah, it's really tough. You just have to have good communication with your coaches at each sport, because I was having basketball practice, football practice, and lifting all in one day. So I had to just tell my coach, maybe I can take this day off from this and take that day off from lifting, or do that. So you really don't want to push yourself too hard. You got to do what you got to do, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be injured for any of it. So you just have to play it safe and communicate with your coaches.
No doubt, man. There was a big thing you're part of prior to your injury. That was Team USA. You guys went out there, won gold, 6-0, went to Brazil. What was the experience like? Take us through what that trip was like.
That trip was It was amazing. Now I look back at it, it was just a great experience. Traveling out the country with a bunch of great athletes, great basketball players in my grade and the grade above. Just being able to play for USA, like I never would have grown up and just thought that I would be able to do that. But you know, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, really. And we went out there. We played great team basketball. You know, we brought back the gold, and it was just great overall experience.
Now, you obviously it's not just given for any players to be able to make that. You got to go out to tryouts. I believe 37 you guys or something like that were selected. And you have to go work your way on making that 10, 12-man roster. What was that whole process like? What was it like kind of finding out then that you made the team?
Um, It was it was kind of nerve wracking. You know, they would bring you in. So I think we were at around 18 people or 20 players there. So they were cutting it down to 12, and they were bringing you in once at a time, and then they would talk to you. And you know, when I went in there, I was just they were all smiling. All the coaching staff was smiling. So I had a good mood, and they just told me that I made the team, and it was one of the most exciting times in my life.
That's awesome. And so you go out there and you're with so many of the top guys in your class. What was that time like? And just tell us like some of the favorite memories. Like what's the first one or two memories that come to your mind when you think of that trip?
I'd say just playing in that arena in Brazil. Like I would never think that I would be playing in a different country with USA on my chest, and just building relationships with those guys. You know, they're all great players, but off the court, they're all fun guys too. We had a lot of fun, and just getting to know them. It was really cool.
Who's the funniest guy on the team?
I'd have to say, uh, Richard Isaacs. He's one of the he was pretty funny to me. Also Amari Bailey.
Mhm.
Um, you know everyone's got that funny side to them, but yeah.
So you're around these guys. That's something that a lot of guys we see end up calling team up in college from USA teams, different camps and all that. Was there anyone in particular, maybe one or two other guys that you talked to a lot that you could see yourself possibly playing with at the next level?
Um, you never know, but um, once I get deeper into the recruiting, you know, when everyone starts cutting down schools, you can really start communicating with them. If they have the same schools as you in their top five or whatever, then you start talking, you start building relationships. But I'll definitely always look at that moment and just always be there for those guys.
That's awesome. You have a 3.5 above GPA. Who kind of instilled that? Why'd you want to kind of really value academics as much as you do?
That's just what I've grown up just uh, my parents they push me and my sisters in the school, the academics part, and then obviously after that it comes basketball. But academics to them, that's definitely very important. So it's important to me too.
That's one of the last things I want to wrap up talking about is your family. You come from a family of athletes. Your dad played football, your mom played volleyball at the college level. Sisters were athletes growing up. What's it been like just growing up in a family of athletics?
I don't know any different.
Mhm.
Just always going to these different sporting events, going to my sister's games. Um, it's just I love it. I love growing up in this family of athletics. You know, some people don't like going to their siblings' games and watching their games and stuff, but I love cheering them on, and they cheer me on. So, you know, we just got great relationships.
So did any of them ever hop into a basketball game with you, or you ever hop into a volleyball game with any of them?
Um, I've teamed I've teamed up with my sister one time
Mhm.
in an AAU game. I think I was fourth grade and she was sixth grade, so she was playing on my team and we were playing up. So you know that was a great experience too. Always look back at that and laugh, but it was fun.
That's awesome, man. My final thing I was like talking about is building a legacy for yourself, and that's something everyone obviously wants to do. So when you're done playing basketball, I mean, what do you want your legacy to be? What you achieve both on and off the court?
Um, I just off the court, I want to be known as just a great overall guy. I want to, I want to lead kids. I want to be able to teach them how to do the right thing, give back to the community, give back to the city that I grew up in, and just give help to the people that need it. Because that comes before the sports and all that. You just want everyone to be safe and all that. But on the basketball side, I just want to be a role model for kids. Because you gotta show them that you have to put in that work if you want to make it. And I would like to teach kids how to make their dreams come true.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, my guy, and I look forward to seeing what God got next for you, man.
All right, I appreciate it a lot.
Of course, man. You're always welcome on, man. God bless.
All right, you too.